Welcome back. This is part 6 of our learning series in managing storage devices. Those who did not watch the previous parts, they are highly recommended to watch all the parts on this series so that they can get the full benefit out of it. Part 6 is about converting a partition from FAT32 to NTFS. So by the end of this video, you will be able to demonstrate your hands-on skills on converting a partition from FAT32 file system to NTFS file system. But before we show you the practical, we have some concept to cover. First, why we need to convert a partition from FAT32 to NTFS. Second, we should understand what is the difference between converting and formatting a partition. After that, we will use the convert command from command line interface to do the converting. Now, what is the problem? The problem is that FAT32 has a limitation on the file size. So if you have any file size that is larger than 4 GB, you cannot save it or store it in a FAT32 formatted partition. And this is a limitation of FAT32 file system. You cannot do anything about it. So if you have a large file, more than 4 GB, you cannot save it in a FAT32 file system. Whereas NTFS file system has no issue in accepting and saving files whose size larger than 4 GB. So NTFS is very powerful file system, so it doesn't have any problem on saving any size for any file. So how do we solve this issue? Actually, we have two ways. The first way is to format the FAT32 partition to NTFS file system. Simply formatting. But as you know, when you format a partition, all the existing files on that partition will be deleted. So this is a challenge. But there is another way. Instead of formatting the FAT32 partition to NTFS, you can convert the file system from FAT32 file system to NTFS file system. And the good about this option, converting, not formatting, is that when you convert the file system, it will not delete the existing files. So this is a very good solution for solving this issue. And we will see this in a practical. You should know that only FAT16 and FAT32 file systems can be converted to NTFS file system. If you have EXFAT file system partition, you cannot convert it to file system to NTFS file system. So because EXFAT is considering himself competitor to NTFS, so it will refuse, EXFAT will refuse to convert. So in this case, you are only one option, you have only one option, which is in that case to format the EXFAT to NTFS. But as we know, formatting a partition, it will delete any existing file. I hope you understand these concepts. These are very important. So as an example, in the practical, we will see, as in this picture, I am now in my documents, and I have, for example, this file. It's called report 1. And if you notice here, the size is quite large. It is more than 4 gigabyte. It is almost 6 gigabyte. So if I want to copy this file to a partition, in my case, for example, to this partition, Microsoft, it has enough space. It is almost 20 gigabyte, the partition size. But the problem with Microsoft Partition, if I go to its properties by right-clicking and go properties, I will see that it is currently formatted with FAT32. So if I try to copy that file, which is almost 6 gigabyte to this, the operating system will give me an error. This error, it's telling me that the file report 1 is too large for the destination file system. So the operating system is telling me that you cannot copy this file to partition Microsoft because the destination file system, which is FAT32, I cannot copy to it this file because it is more than 4 gigabyte. So how can I solve this problem? Now, if I go to the Microsoft partition, it has some files here. You see that now I am in Microsoft partition. So I want to convert it from FAT32 to NTFS. I don't want to format it because if I format the partition M, which is Microsoft, I will lose all my data files. So that's what we will do. We want to convert. Now, how do we convert a partition from FAT32 to NTFS without losing our data? Well, we use a very important command. It's called convert command. And this is the syntax of the command. Simply, you just type convert, then you specify the drive letter of the partition you want to convert, then you specify the file system to NTFS. So this is the syntax. And you have to run the command prompt as administrator. So after you do this, now this partition is converted to NTFS without losing its data. So to make sure, I will go to its property again. And this time, as you can see, the file system is now NTFS. But the nice thing is that I did not lose my files on the partition M. You see, I have all the files without any problem. Now I can copy that file to this partition without any issue. But if I format it, I will lose all my files. I hope this is clear. Now, if I try to convert a partition, which is EXFAT, to NTFS, it will give me this error. It says to me here, convert is not a variable for EXFAT drives. This is exactly what we have explained. You can only convert FAT16 and FAT32 to NTFS, but you cannot convert EXFAT to NTFS. So you will get this error message. And if you try to convert an NTFS to NTFS, like this command, convert S, or S is already NTFS. So I try to convert it again to NTFS. It will tell me this. It will tell me that drive S is already NTFS. Of course, very important notice here, in order to do the conversion process for internal storage devices, you should have administrative privilege. In other words, you have to use an administrator account. Whereas if you try to convert it, an external flash memory or external storage device, you don't need administrator privilege. Now, why this is important to know the convert? Because many students, when they buy external hard disk or flash memory, and they start saving files on that one, after a time, they may need to copy a large file, more than 4 GB, to their flash memory or external hard disk. But when they try, but it is formatted EXFAT, or sorry, FAT32. So he want to convert that one to NTFS so that he can copy the file, but without losing the already existing data. So this is a very important command, which is the convert. And now it is the time for the live demo where I will show you all these commands in real life demo. See you there in the demo. Okay, welcome to the demonstration part. Now let me go to my file explorer and let us see. For example, let us assume if I go to the documents, as you can see, I have a file here. It's named report01, and if we look to the size, it's more than 4 GB. So I want to copy this one to partition that is formatted in FAT32. So I will right click, then I will click this one, copy. Then if I go to this PC, now I want to copy it to this partition, to the Microsoft partition. But before I copy, let me go right click and go properties. As you can see, it's telling me here it is FAT32. So what do you think? Can I save this file to this partition? Let us try. If I go double click on M, as you can see, I already have some files on it. Now if I right click any empty space and press this or Ctrl V to paste it, as you can see, I get this error message. It's telling me the file is too large, and it's telling me the message here, the file report1 is too large for the destination file system. So as we explained in the first part of this video, either you format the partition, but in this case you will lose all your files, or you can convert. So we will convert it using the command line interface. So let me close this one, and now I will type CMD and Control Shift Enter to run it as administrator. I will put my administrator password and click yes. You see now this is the command prompt. Now I am running this as administrator. As you can see, there is a term here, administrator. Now simply the command is this, convert. Then you specify the drive letter, which is M with 2 dots, sorry. Then space / file system, then you type NTFS. This is the command. This is the syntax. Convert, then you put the drive letter, space / FS, then NTFS. Now let me press enter. As a confirmation, it asked me to give me to type the volume label. So the volume label for this is Microsoft. So let me just type Microsoft and press enter. Excellent. So what happened now? It converted my partition Microsoft or M to NTFS without losing my file, and it's telling me that conversion is complete. So if I go to File Explorer and go to this PC, let me see the Microsoft again, right click, properties. You see it converted to NTFS. But did I lose my data files that were in partition M? Let us see, double click. You see all my data files are here and they are not deleted. This is the nice thing about converting. not like format. Format, it will delete everything. Now, I can go to that file, document, and I can copy this one. Then I can go to the partition, M. Now, Control V, and it will start copying the file without any problem. So this is the nice thing about convert command. It will convert from FAT32 to NTFS without losing your data. And as I say, this is very good, especially for those students who want to copy a large file to their flash memory, and they discover that their flash memory or external hard disk are FAT32, and they already have a lot of files, and they don't want to lose it. So you don't need to format, you just need to convert from FAT32 to NTFS. You see now my file is copied without any problem. Now let me close this one. Let me go again now to this PC. For example, let me go to S. Let us see what's the file system for S. Right click, properties. As you can see, it is currently NTFS. So if I try to convert S to NTFS, let me type the command again, but this time I will type here S. So the command is try to convert S, which is already in NTFS, to NTFS. So let us see how the Windows will react to this command. You see it's telling me drive S is already NTFS. So it will not convert because it's already NTFS. Now, if I try to convert an EXFAT partition, let me see. I think I have Lenovo. If I right click it and properties, you see it's EXFAT, and Lenovo has a drive letter L, as you can see here. So let us go back to the command prompt again, and I will type the same command, but this time I will tell here L. So let us see, will it accept this command or not? You see it telling me this. Convert is not available for EXFAT drive. So it cannot convert this to NTFS because it's EXFAT. If you want to convert it and shift it from EXFAT to NTFS, in that case, the only option is that you have to format it, as we learned in our previous videos on the series. You just right click it, format. Of course, it asks me administrator password. Okay. And from here, okay, you choose NTFS and you click start. But the problem with the format, if you have any file existing on L, if I go double click, you see I have some files. So if I format, I will lose them. So this is the nice about the convert, that you can convert the partition from FAT32 or FAT16 to NTFS without losing the partition. I hope that was useful for you, and see you in the next videos. Bye bye.